So how do you develop the technique of presenting your video projects as if you were thinking them the way you think of them in your own head when you're developing them? There's a really old joke. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Answer: practice, practice, practice. Trial and error is not something to be ashamed of. Trial and error is a tremendously legitimate form of scientific experimentation. If you believe in an idea enough to try it, do not let fear of failure, or even trying it and literally failing, stop you from learning what you learned from the experience and going back and honing it, or putting it on the shelf until such a time as you can hone it further. I don't think if you present a video, audio, or written project honestly, people hold it against you if it's not perfect. They may offer you suggestions of, what you can do to improve it. They may consider what you have to say, but kind of not really buy into it. They may have a lot of different ways they respond to it, but I don't think they will hold it against you. Your harshest critic is you. You, me, we are usually what stop us from moving ahead, because we can't for the life of us figure out the missing piece that's keeping us from turning what we see and hear in our head to what we see and hear on the format we put it down on. Well, I believe the conduit that goes from head to format is not out there to be purchased yet, anyway. I believe it's something you have to build in your own shop, inside your own production studio, inside your own head. Learn how to know when you actually believe in something, as opposed to just thinking it's an idea that will work. If I watch a video on YouTube that's on a subject of something I'm really interested in, and that video works like a charm, what do I gain by copying it and doing the same thing they did? All I'm really doing is proving that their idea is good, not that my version of their idea is good. You need to work with the intention of error being part of your work process, with the intention of correction being part of your work process, and most of all, having the guts to fail in front of other people. And if you want an indication of how you know you're on the right track, when you fail in front of other people, but you have control of the situation as opposed to the situation having control of you, when you can flub and just move on as if it was a fly or brushing away and keep going, you're on the right track. If you have a legitimate good idea and you're sweating every second of putting it down on your format, you're basically a train wreck looking for a piece of track to jump, because sooner or later you're going to hit a kink, and what people will pay attention to is an unintentional real moment. Your panic will come across way more believably than whatever message it was you were trying to get people to listen to and consider. And the only way you can jump that piece of track without derailing is to use every flub as a test. Allow yourself to, at the moment of a screw up, consider, should I stop and start over, or should I keep going? You will find the more you figure out a way to keep going, the less you need to stop. It's a pretty interesting cycle. Flubs and mistakes eventually hone themselves into quirky characteristics unique to the individual. And people will start to respond to you as if they know you, because you are getting closer to knowing yourself. And that message supersedes whatever the topic of your video or written message is, and people say, this person's interesting. Let's see what they have to say. Now, they may not like your message or agree with it even after a successful presentation, but that's out of your hands, because if we all thought alike, nobody would be making video message or written messages of any kind. Why would we need them if we all thought the same and acted the same and did the same? So there's your assignment. Learning to know yourself through the art of mistakes, errors, and flubs. Learning to transmit as directly as possible what's in your head, the way you think of your project, onto that camera, DVD, computer, hard drive, you name it, light cube. Get from here to there with, what do they say, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line? Well, maybe that's the way you should think about it. If you're delivering a message yourself on a camera, you're looking at that camera. There is a line from your head to that camera lens. Visualize it as straight as possible with as few flubs as in between. And when you see a flub, don't run away from it. Run into it head on and figure out how to pop it out straight. And you will find with each succeeding video project, you become more and more yourself on that format, and less an imitation of yourself, the way in the beginning excuse me while I hit my microphone with my hands. In the beginning, we were all taught to be actors. We have to act like actors act. There is nothing worse on the face of the planet than an actor that looks like they're acting. Straight line here to there. Straight line here to there. Straight line here to there. You make a mistake, you don't care. You fix it and you move on. .org